So today on the Father Trucker, we've got a little quiz. What does that little hose there and that big chrome pipe there have in common? Stay tuned to the Father Trucker for answers to those and deeper questions still. Hey, so listen, I'm coming to you in front of this big, beautiful 60 Series Detroit, the heart and soul of Big John here. But listen, those two things that I showed you, what they have in common is they are both outlets for waste materials. The one, the air conditioner water outlet tube, lets all that water that gets collected when the air is cooled in the truck, it lets it find a good place to leave the cab. When it's not working properly, we have a nice little pool inside the cab, and maybe you've experienced that before. No joy in that, where the water is not getting out, and it may just be something as simple as a little bit of debris that's gotten in that little tube, and it's not letting the water get out, and so the water can't escape, and so it goes where it's not supposed to go. The other are those big, beautiful stacks that Big John is sporting, and I'll have you know they are real. They are not cosmetic. This is no grass burner, I'll have you know. Obviously, they are letting out all of the exhaust, the burnt side of the fuel, as it were. But when the engine goes through its cycle of intake and exhaust, all of the burnt gases got to find some place to go. And so they make their way up. They will make their way out of the exhaust side of the engine. They'll pass through the mufflers. Yes, Big John does have mufflers. There are days where I wish I had big straight pipes, but my old ears are much happier with a bit of muffling going on, as I'm sure the inspectors at the scales. But all those burnt gases got to go somewhere, and they head up through the pipes. If they didn't leave, if the engine was somehow plugged and it was not allowing those exhaust gases to leave, you're not going anywhere. Uh, that is going to just completely detonate the engine, and you're stuck. And if you're a mechanic and you want to leave a comment below and explain why it's more complicated than that, I'd be happy to hear it. I'm sure all of our subscribers would be as well, but you get the point. There are, in every machine, in every system, there is a need to get rid of stuff that is deemed to be waste. And can I just say this, that in all of creation, it is no different anywhere. Um, every system has waste it needs to expel to stay healthy. And if it doesn't get rid of that waste, it cannot survive, not for long anyway. And so here's the connection. If you've been watching this channel for any amount of time, you're thinking, okay, Father Trucker, what's the spiritual link? Well, here is the spiritual link. Spiritually, it is no different. God has made all of his creation to point to something and to reveal a truth. And the truth is that the waste has to be expelled for the system to be healthy. And if the waste doesn't go away, the system doesn't work. At best, it works poorly. At worst, it does not work at all. And that is tragic when that happens. So here's the link, though, spiritually. Hebrews chapter 12 says, let us throw off everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles. And you might say, let us expel all the things that don't belong. Let us cast off, let us get rid of the waste products that are just entangling and are hindering. And let's get them out of our lives if we're going to run the race God has for us. And so if Big John here is going to use all 515 of those horsepower, and if it's going to have access to all 1,840 pounds-feet of torque, it's going to need to keep its system clean. If it doesn't, it's not going to work. Hey, so as we're merging back onto the 401 here, let me see if I can tie this all together. what's the point for us? Well, the reality is that God has made us as His children, as His followers, as His disciples, to be no different than what we're seeing all around us, in that we need to get rid of stuff too in order to be healthy. There's things in our lives that pollute the system and do damage, and we have to be able to put those things aside, to expel them, as it were, and so that our system would run the way it's supposed to run, that it would be efficient and effective and healthy. And so let me challenge you with this as we close this little conversation off. Are there some things in your life that you need to put off? Are there some things that are hindering you that you need to become disentangled from and get them gone? And I'm not going to give you a list, but brother trucker and sister trucker, I understand the struggles, and I understand the things that can cloud up the system and get it all backed up, as it were. And those are things like maybe pornography, maybe addiction issues, maybe even things that on their own are good things, but we're just giving them too much space in our lives, and so we just need to get rid of them. We need to put them off. We need to expel them. And so let me encourage you and challenge you at the same time to pray and ask the Lord to reveal to you, are there any things in your life that hinder and entangle? Are there any things that are polluting the system? Are there any things that are causing you not to work the way that He designed for you to work? And as He reveals it, second prayer goes like this: Lord, please give me the strength to get rid of the things I need to get rid of, so that I might serve you and walk closely with you and know you. And so I'm going to be praying for you. If you want to leave a comment, you can send an email. You can jump over to the website. Sure would love to connect with you and love to do whatever I can do in any way to help you become a fully effective and passionate disciple of Jesus Christ who happens to be a trucker, and then somebody who starts to see themselves as a missionary out here on the highways and byways. God bless. Look forward to connecting again soon.